Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. So everyone's having a great day, safe day. Happen to be in the Northeast or in the Midwest. Stay warm, folks.
I had to put up the sled dogs to come over here today.
Did you really?
No.
You know what happened? As Dave was coming in the office, he's telling the story to the two producers. I'm saying to myself, man, did you just get off a plane somewhere? I know I just heard you an hour ago on the air. Let's take a look at this. Is a quote by James Gardner. Believe in yourself and everything you can be. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. The Dow Industrials closed up 154, NASDAQ up 31, S&P's up 11.5, all at new highs, folks. Gold contract down 680, traded at 1,200. You get silver down 19 cents at $16.23 an ounce. Copper flat at $2.60 a pound. Light sweet crude off $1, trading out at $50.74 a barrel. Bonds, we had the 10-year down two ticks. 127.16. That failed to get into higher price today. 30-year flat, 144.10. That also failed. King dollar. King dollar went from positive to negative, down 57 at 94.43, and the euro up 12 at 113.81. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, in the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We put the S&Ps out here. We'll use the SPY. Bottom line, you're at a higher high. If I put this on a weekly basis, folks, what you're going to see out here is that it's crawling away from the consolidation that it's been in. The high that we're at 208.85. That was the top of that consolidation. So right now you're at 211. Yeah, the volume's lighter, but guess what? Higher highs, you can go higher. NDX 100, the 3Qs. The 3Qs had already gone topside last week. They continued higher this week. 3Qs out here, when we take a look at this on a weekly basis, right now we're at 108.41. And what we have here is that you got to remember it's a 4-day week, so you're going to add in another day. You did 79 million, so that'd shake out about 100 million. Big deal. Bottom line, you're at a higher high, though. IWM, we take a look at the small caps. Now, the small caps are trading at 122.38, and we take a look at the small caps. The small caps are the only ones thus far that are still basically pretty close to the consolidation it has been in. Small caps did, on a weekly basis, 81 million shares, so that did calculate about 100 million. That was taking out the high that was generated out here at 121.41, and that had 130 million. Gold. What do we have with gold? And his divergence is out here because it's a Friday though, and they love whacking gold on a Friday if they can get it going. Gold was down 680. You're trading out at 1,200 even. We had 101,000 contracts. On the daily, that was on the daily. On the weekly, folks, it's set up pretty nice, actually. On the weekly, what you have is that you're coming into the strength that the gold contract had on the way up versus how we're coming back down. And if we take a look at this, there's the weekly right there. So what you're looking at is you're coming into the strength that was established on the week of January 9th, as well as the week of January 16th. Divergence in spades. Now, bonds. Let's go take a look at the bond market, because the bond market right now is really intriguing to me, meaning has there been a change of trend? And, you know, there's no doubt that anyone that has been going south the bond market for years now, basically it can look like it's going south, it turns right around again. Right now, if we take a look at this 10-year, what you have is this, is that it tried to get back up inside the higher range, couldn't do it, had 1.4 million contracts out here today. So we're at 127, that's setting up, listen, it wants to go after this 125.21. The yield out here right now is 2.1 on the 10-year. If we take a look at the 30-year, we set up the 30-year. What we have with the 30-year is this, 30-year. Now, the 30-year also had been the leader inside bonds for a long period of time. Today, what you had is that the 30-year also tried to get into the range, couldn't do it, so it's like, it looks to me like that next leg's going to come down. We're at 144 and 138 is game, you know.
So I've got a question that I really haven't thought through yet, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my hands around it, and that is the fear trade. Every weekend you come in, they're either buying gold going into the weekend, they're buying crude going into the weekend. Now we see that neither crude nor gold went up today.
Right.
Treasuries are not really looking like
Right.
So the fear is kind of gone, and it looks to me like we've gone from that fear trade on Friday to the greed trade where they're trying to push, like you said, a lot of these stocks going up with very light volume. It really looks to me like everybody's really chasing any kind of decent return now instead of just hoping they get their money back come Monday.
Listen, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that I would say every bull that's out there right now is saying, see, I told you so. You're big deal. I don't care what the volume is.
Right, but
you're up, and we're going to go higher.
But do you think that there is a change in that thing where it's moved from, at least on Fridays, a little bit of fear on what's going to happen over the weekend to a little bit of greed on how much can we pop this come Monday morning?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is not only out there. People have been acclimated to the point of getting rewarded, and it's like what we do know is this, though. The real key is that small funds, large funds, are retail investors that are profiting here, because there's a lot less market participants, folks. That's the bottom line. So the key there is that, okay, who is profiting from this? If you're in the indices, you're absolutely profiting. When I look at the XLE, I'm saying to myself, the XLE is down 22%. Largest, companies in the world, right?
Right.
Biotechs, however, to the moon. And they went higher today and on dramatically lighter volume, but bottom line, they went higher.
But that's the kind of chasing. For a long time, people were saying they were chasing yield in the bonds.
Right.
And then gold kind of took off as the fear trade. And then when crude kind of bottomed, everybody was racing into it for the last few weekends. And now we don't get that at all. And it looks to me like we really have kind of a little small sea change of the fear is just gone, and we're back to just greed.
Okay,
so,
and in this context, I got a call. It was a great call last hour, and it was about it was about the broad market. You know what I mean? It's like, hey man, we've been going up forever on light volume, and no doubt that's a fact. What I like about this market right now, I like being short the dollar and long gold, and technically, I'm really comfortable with that, folks, and fundamentally, I'm so comfortable with it, it's insane. And a lot of that has to do, first, with the technicals, but more so, even with the state of how the dollar has gone up since 2011, how no one is worrying. And listen, right in front of you, folks, okay, across the world is a mess. I keep on looking. I mean, we've had a small, and when I mean small, I mean a small bounce this week in the dry bulk shippers. Yeah. In the Baltic Index. But all it did was quit going down for all practical purposes. Right.
Maybe it was up 2%, but that's, when you fall from the sky and hit the ground, if you jump up to 2%, that's just a dead cat bounce.
Right.
So we're seeing some of that. Now, I thought maybe part of that also is the strikeout in California, and there may be some noise in that I don't know how it works out. But
the thing that's intriguing now, and we just brought up the strike in California, picture this, folks, that's only 20,000 longshoremen. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
That the stevedores are fighting so hard to not give 20,000 longshoremen more money. And what happens is that the longshoremen's union are going to get what they want, folks, okay? They've been trying to put them out of business forever. And I can hear them screaming right now that, listen, you're just hitting a button and you're making it happen. But guess what? It blows my mind, actually, that they're fighting so hard for it.
Yeah, I haven't really dug into it, so I don't know.
The reason I know about it, because I said I worked as a scally when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I worked down the docks. And then you used to have to work versus now you don't. And there's always The stevedores always thought they could move them around and they can, you know...
The only thing I know is that they had a piece on the big losers out of this.
Yeah.
The orange producers in California. All their fruit is rotting everywhere.
There's going to be a lot of losers.
Yeah.
Dave White, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.